His Excellency Ahmed Maruf, Mayor of the South of Sorry, Your Excellency, heads of Egyptian antiquities, to honor us, kind donors, representatives of the embassies and the press, dear guests, dear colleagues and friends. On behalf of the Memnon Amenhotep III project, with its full name, the Colossi of Memnon and Amenhotep III Temple Conservation Project, and please note, this is a full conservation project. I have the honor to welcome you in the temple precincts of King Amenhotep III, and I will have the pleasure to show you the new discoveries and the last achievements of our team. The highlight of this season is the rising of colossal statues found fallen and fragmented, which now reappear on the site for the first time since their collapse in 3,200 years ago. So it's really a world premiere. The colossal statue with the Queen Tiye, the great royal consort, standing near his right leg, are seeing the light for the first time since they had fallen and were covered by our alluvial layers. The aim of our project is to preserve the last remains of this once prestigious temple and present them in their original places. We started work in 1998 after this site was selected as one of the 100 most endangered monuments of the world, with cleaning and documentation, and today, in our 16th season of conservation activities, we are happy to present some of the most striking monuments on the site, the newly raised colossal statues. I would like to thank the Ministry of Antiquities and His Excellency Mohammed Ibrahim Ali for kind permission to work on this extraordinary site, and we feel every day privileged to do so. Dr. Ali Al-Aswad, head of the Egyptian Antiquities, who is present here and who will welcome you, who kindly will welcome the colleagues to celebrate. On behalf of the Minister, and whom I thank for his always strong support and assistance. Since the time, Dr. Ali, when he was the director of the East Bank here, and since our long-time and you were our long-time partner on the site. You remember, you even pulled the foot of this statue with the 180 workmen.
Why not come back?
Yeah, please come back, we miss you. We kindly thank his successor Mohammed Biali, who supported us after Dr. Ali, and the actual heads of the Upper Egyptian and Theban antiquities, Dr. Mohammed Soliman, Dr. Sultan Mohammed, and the actual Mudir of the East Bank, Dr. Mohammed Abdelaziz, for his invaluable support, with Abdel Nasser Sinari and the inspectors in charge of the site, Ali Rida, Tayeb, and Wahid Youssef, restorers Gaber Mohammed Lut, Mohammed Tayeb Salam in the temple, Fatih Yassin with the inspector Mujahid Abdel Mawjoud, Mohammed at the north gate of where our mission works in cooperation with the Ministry of Antiquities and the local inspectorate to save two colossal statues of Amenhotep III fallen in the field, 307 meters to the north. This joint mission's Egyptian partner was Mohammed Abdel Maksud in 2013 and Abdel Hakim Talat in 2014, whom I have the pleasure to greet and thank. And the members are Mohammed of the Egyptian team, Mohammed Ahmed Hussein and Ahmed Rifai Al-Azab, Ahmed Farag Al-Asraf Mahmoud, Mohammed Al-Azab Abu Akim, Said Hassan, and the team of all restorers. Our team is composed of Egyptian, European, and Armenian specialists, with one Japanese member, with an average of 280, sometimes 300, Egyptian specialized workmen who are here, some of them are here, per season, under the direction of Rais Muhammad Ali Ayat, who is very elegantly standing in front of you, and a team of 40 specialized in stone transportation under the guidance of Rais Muhammad Ali Al-Ghassab, who is there he is with his Most of the workmen are brilliant young men from the surrounding villages, eager to learn and to help their families. They have started restoration work with us and are now trained and skillful conservators. This season, 5 dynamic young girls have joined the mission. One of them is Akimat, who is standing behind you, who is kindly assisting in documentation. This temple was built within 38 years of the reign of Amenhotep III in the first half of the 14th century BC. Some 150 years later, around 1200 BC, in the Ramesside period, the temple was toppled by a heavy earthquake, traces of which were revealed by the seismologists of the Armenian Academy of Sciences, with whom we work in cooperation since 2007. The site was then used as a quarry after its collapse, and most of the material was reused in the surrounding temples and later buildings. Later, the remains had been regularly disturbed by floods from the mountains and later covered with the alluvial layers of the Nile up to 3 meters. You can see the difference in the levels until 2.5 to 3 meters of alluvial layers before we reach the original ground level of the temple. So until the first collectors had surfaced in the 19th century, taking with them heads of royal statues in the British Museum, for instance, or in the Louvre, smaller divine effigies, and most of the time statues of the goddess Sekhmet, which are now dispersed in museums and Egyptian collections all over the world. Very few interventions in the beginning of the 20th century were followed in the 1950s and the 1960s by investigations of Antiquities Service here on the West Bank, and ended in 2 seasons of cooperation with the Swiss Institute in 1974 and 1970. Their investigations were published in 1981, and Mr. Yaris is here to remind you of that. Since then, the visible remains of the temple were lying fragmented and badly conserved or buried in salty water, invaded by vegetation, and threatened by encroachment and vandalism. It is in 1998 that we started work with the cleaning and documentation with a very small team, and now we count about 40 specialists of different countries and of all disciplines. I thank here the oldest of the team members with whom we started this fabulous adventure. Rainer Stadelmann, then director of the German Archaeological Institute, who not only facilitated the path of applications and administration and requests, but who kindly volunteers since all these years to help the project with his long archaeological experience and knowledge. Thanks. And the multi-talented architect Nairi Hampigam, who carries out research on the architecture of the ruined temple, plans the future site protection and management project, who was since 2013 the director in the site of the emergency project at the North Gate, and he realizes also en passant all tasks, artistic tasks, banners, posters, pamphlets, and everything, and helps in any way. Thanks a lot. We were soon joined after that by Miriam Pepe Alvarez and Christian Pesselmeyer, then Joseph Dorner, and later Carmen Lopez. Thanks to them, we could carry all archaeological investigations in the peristyle court, at the pylons, and later at the North Gate. Miguel Lopez for the restoration joined us, and especially for the reconstruction of the Colossi and monumental stela with the Rais Muhammad Ali Al-Ghassab and his team of stone specialists and conservators. Among them, we had several over years among them Elena Mora with her team of very skillful conservators, with Eriko Kamimura and her assistants for documentation, now backed by Benjamin Durand, who also studies the pottery of the site and makes all kinds of side projects. Two very talented crafts ladies, Yola Malatkova and Pauline Talasu, draw the representations and inscriptions. Jürgen Ozing cares about epigraphy and translations of difficult texts with Rainer Stadelmann. We carry out our project in cooperation with the Ministry of State of Antiquities, archaeoseismological investigations with the Armenian Academy of Sciences, soil and waterscape investigations thanks to the EES Tevin Harbors and Waterscape Project with Angus Graham, and 3D scans with the University of Bombay. The project and sub-projects are supported by the Association des Amis des Colossi of Memnon with the generous donation of its president, Madame Monique Hennessy, and thanks to the efforts of the Vice President, Alain Fouquet-Abrial.
Bravo!
Whom I thank very, very kindly. Without them, none of the things you are seeing here would have seen the light ever. We have grants from the World Monuments Fund with Robert Wilson Challenge to conserve our heritage, and I welcome Gaetano Palumbo, the representative of the World Monument Fund here, who kindly came from very far to join us today. The Memnon Terrain in Munich helps us to buy heavy materials like airbags, very expensive things which they send to us, and we have also occasional and additional but very invaluable funds by the American Research Center in Egypt, and I greet John Sherman, who represents the RC here, by thanking him for all kinds of support over the years. We have also friends of the site who come and visit us every year, bringing their contribution for the restoration of monuments. These are the Friends of Horus Egyptology Society, the Chesterfield Association, friends of the site like Stephanie and Bernhard Buchner, and I think Bernhard here present, Peter Gain, Sigrid and Klaus Reuter from Munich. I have the pleasure to welcome our future sponsors on site, Monsieur Christian Louboutin here, Monsieur Henri Sédou, and the very elegant lady, Madame Farida, who is in front of me. I thank you very, very kindly to have made So, thanks to these private donations, it's all private. I will tell you, we have no government supporting us, no institution, no university. Thanks to these private donations, what we have achieved in this season will be now shown to you and can be resumed as follows. 100 meters behind the Memnon Colossi, who are behind you. They are known now as Memnon, but they represent the King Amenhotep III-seater there, and they were once preceding the first pylon of the temple. They were subject of investigation since the beginning of our work in 1998. You can see the backs of this colossi behind you. This year, we started a project to put back at their original places one of the statues and their pedestals, with blocks found scattered all around the colossi. Thanks to a grant of the RC, this year we have placed a block on the belt of the southern colossus and fragments from the wing and crown of the two ladies, the queens. We are preparing to fix the right arm of the king of the South Colossus in the next season, along with a huge block of 4 meters reconstructed from several broken pieces pieces which will complete the back part of the pedestal and fragments from pedestal of the southern colossus. On the northern colossus, this one, the proper Memnon, he's completing the eye of the god Hapi on the south side of the throne. Has been placed and it's completing very beautifully the god. As well as blocks belonging to the plinth. One of them was brought back from the Medinet Habu block yard where it was stored and has now joined the plinth of the North Colossus. At the second pylon where we are, you can see in front of you the bricks, the original bricks covering, modern bricks covering the original one. The colossal head of the southern Colossus of Amenhotep III behind me was lifted this year and fixed on its shoulders thanks to the great efforts of Miguel Lopez, Mohammed Ali Al-Ghassab, Christian Fesselmeyer, and a team of stone specialists. Additional smaller pieces were fixed to the statue thanks to the team of restorers. Here they are, Bari, Abdulhadi, Tayeb, Mohammed, and all others working for the cleaning and joining with Elena Mora. The Colossus was also completed with other pieces joining the body and the throne. It now reaches a height of 11 meters 6 feet with its base. And the base is monolithic, worked in the same material. And as you see, the iconography is the same as the Colossi at the first pylon. The king is represented seated, wearing the Nemes headdress and the pleated kilt. His hands are flat on his knees. He sits on a throne which is beautifully decorated on the sides with the symbolic scene of the Sematawi, the unification of the two lands, which are represented by the heraldic plants of Lower and Upper Egypt, the papyrus and the lotus. On the side of the king were two ladies, like at the Memnon Colossus. The one standing here is the queen consort, the great consort, royal consort T, the queen T, and the other one was, as at the Memnon, the queen mother Mutemuya. Pieces of her wigs and some parts of her half body we have recovered, but this part was eroded. The colossal statue had fallen on its right flank, so all the upper part was eroded. Yeah. The next season when you come, and I hope you all come to join us in our next celebration, we will lift the southern companion of this colossal statue here, which is on the big heap of gravel, and we did the same as this colossus. On plus we have the pieces of the face and the monumental beard, which is alone 1 meter. So it gives you an idea of the size of the colossi, and another idea, the ear alone is 83 centimeters of the colossus, where the ear of the Memnon is 93. It decreases. Further west, after traversing the second coast, we continue work on alabaster monolithic colossi, 13 to 14 meters height estimated, who represent the King Amenhotep III seated at the gate of the third pylon. Between the legs of the southern king stands one of three daughters of Amenhotep, one of the daughters of Amenhotep III, the Princess Iset, with the title of royal consort here, and the beloved of the king. The queen statue is 1 meter 70. More to the west, some of you were already there, in the peristyle court, among the conservation operations carried out by the team members, the head and the feet of a standing royal statue in red granite were placed at the southeast corner of the court, where the statue was found lying fragmented in 2006, thus enriching the program of raising the monuments in their original places. And we insist on this. We will put everything back in the original place to stop the dispersion of monuments in museums or somewhere else. The statue hewn in red granite from Aswan represents the king standing, wearing the crown of south and holding the royal insignia. The head measures 1 meter 30 high. The statue will be completed with the body in the next season and will reach a height of 8 meters. Conservation and joining the multiple pieces of the red granite statue were made possible by Ali Hassan and his excellent team of champions in joining. And the head was lifted 3 days ago by the team of Miguel and Muhammad Ali. A similar head in Portside, reconstructed from more than 100 scattered pieces, thanks to Ahmed Muhammad Ali, called Abdelrazik, and his team, have been completed with the eye this season, among other apartheid remains of royal statues. After this overview, we shall invite you to the north gates, where we have just lifted the eastern of 2 colossal statues, which were abandoned and brought to be destroyed. I thank you all very much for attending this event, and I invite you, and I invite Dr. Ali Laspa for the welcoming speech on behalf of the
movie maker.
No.
Welcome you in Qurna. I am in place of here, Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, the minister of Kuwait. And I am being here as Egyptology because I remember the first day to work in Qurna during Forex and start work to remove this huge statue. I come back now to maybe 10 years until now. For the foreign, thank you for coming to Egypt from the first, and I want to send a message for all the world as the peace in Egypt. It is the message that must be reached for all the world. You are here, there is no police, everything is become okay. There is no worry for anything. The Colossi of Memnon, maybe the name of Colossi as the greatest. I want to give Boris Christian the mission, the greatest mission, because the work in this place, it is unavailable, it is very, very hard. How can I want to tell you about if the mission able to make a reconstruction for the temple, how can you remember the temple in this area? It is the main gate from Qurna. If you put if you apply to the vision to see the two and another two statue. It is from the first pylon and second pylon and steel and real steel. I think it is the greatest temple in Qurna. And I think this temple is different for any temple in Qurna because the two main gates from the east and from the north. And I think that the statue is completely today and we will visit it. It is addition for the world. Thank you for coming and thank you for the worker because the mission is depend for the roots for the Egyptian. All worker help the mission for everything. Thank you for him from the first. Thank you for all guests, and thank you for the mission, and thank you for all donation to help for Ethiopian to complete the work because this temple I think it needs more time and needs more money and needs more effort for everything. Thank you for all.